You're watching the chapter number 13 of the Blender Materials, Textures and Nodes course, Sheen BSDF and Subsurface Scattering Node. In today's chapter, our target will be to understand about these concepts in Blender and then also use the concepts in the retro gaming arcade scene that we have been creating in this course. And for those of you who are new to this course, you can watch the previous 12 chapters from the link of the playlist given in the pinned comment. So I've opened this materials file where in the last chapter we studied about the normal map and the bump node, and today our first topic to understand will be the Sheen BSDF node. And to understand about its working, I'll first go to the solid mode by clicking here, and we need to create a basic cloth simulation in the scene, and that is because the Sheen BSDF node is basically used to add reflections to materials that have microsurface details, for example cloth or dust, and so we have to add a plane in the scene on which we'll apply the cloth physics. So press Shift plus A, then go to Mesh and select Plane. Press Tab to enter the edit mode and let's scale it up 3 times. Now press Enter to confirm, return back to the object mode and we'll move it up in the Z axis. After this, to apply the cloth physics, go to the physics properties by clicking here and select cloth. Then in the quality steps, increase the value from 5 to 8 because this is the factor that will determine the quality of the cloth. After this, scroll down, go to collisions and enable the self collisions from here. But right now, we are not having enough vertices to give the cloth a realistic look. So go to the edit mode, right click and select subdivide, then click here and open this menu and increase the number of cuts to somewhere around 24, or maybe let's keep it to 48. Now return back to the object mode, and now we need to make it interact with the UV sphere and the plane object. So I'll select the UV sphere, then go to the physics properties and enable the collision physics. This will make the cloth interact and collide with the UV sphere. Similarly, I'll select this plane, go to the physics properties and enable the collision physics. Now in the 3D viewport, press the space bar to play the animation, and now you will notice that the cloth will move downwards and it will also interact with the UV sphere and the plane in the scene. Now I'll select the cloth, right click and apply shade auto smooth, and if you want, you can go to the edit mode and right click to apply subdivide one more time in order to make it much more detailed. So I place the pointer again at the frame number 1 and press the space bar to play the animation. Now this time the speed of animation in the 3D viewport will be slightly slower as compared to the previous one because of the increase in number of vertices. But once it is done, we'll go to the camera view by pressing 0 on the numpad. Let's also switch to the rendered preview mode, and by default it is having the white material, and to change it, go to the shader editor, click on the new button, and now we'll be using the Sheen BSDF node in order to see how it works. So press Shift plus A, then go to shader and select the Sheen BSDF node. Let's place it over here and connect the BSDF socket to the surface socket in the material output node, and by doing this, we are having a black colored material applied to this cloth object. To change its color, click here in the color option, and suppose I want that the material should be red colored, so I'll select the red color in the color wheel, and now this is how the material of the cloth is looking. But you might be thinking that we can achieve a similar result by using the color option in the principal BSDF node also. So what's exactly the benefit of using the Sheen BSDF in that case? But in reality, this is not the case, because if I go to the base color in the principal BSDF and change this to the red color and then connect it to the material output node, then you can see the difference between this cloth material and the one that we got from the Sheen BSDF. As I told you before, the Sheen BSDF node will create a material considering the reflections and the microsurface details that we normally want in the cloth materials. So let's again apply the Sheen BSDF node to the cloth object. Now in this node, we are having this roughness parameter, and if I reduce it down to 0, then in that case, the color of this material will be completely black, and this is because this particular roughness value is controlling the amount of color that is reflected back from the material to the camera. So a lower value of roughness would mean a darker material because hardly any colors would reflect back from the material, making it look fuzzy and darker, but a higher value of roughness would mean that more colors will be reflected, giving it a dusty and a realistic look just like a cloth fabric. Now moving ahead, the next topic for this chapter is to understand about the subsurface scattering node. So first of all, I'll hide this cloth in the scene by pressing H, and let's also hide this UV sphere by again pressing H. Now to understand about the subsurface scattering node, we'll be adding a monkey object in the scene. So press Shift plus A, then go to Mesh and select Monkey. Now let's go to the camera view, zoom out and move the monkey up in the Z axis like this. Now press Ctrl plus 2 in order to apply the subdivision surface modifier with the levels viewport set to 2. After this, right click and apply shade auto smooth, and let's also scale it up by pressing S. Now to use the subsurface scattering node, go to the shader editor, click on the new button, then press Shift plus A go to shader and select the subsurface scattering node. Let's place it over here. Now before using this node in Blender, I should first explain you the meaning of subsurface scattering. So subsurface scattering is a mechanism in which light penetrates through the surface of a translucent object, and then the light is scattered by interacting with the material and exits the surface potentially at different points. This effect is seen in things like wax, skin, and you must have noticed that when you place your hand in sunlight or very close to a particular source of light, it looks something like this, with some of the red color of the light being allowed to pass through the skin because of the subsurface scattering effect. And the same effect can be achieved in Blender by using this node, which is the subsurface scattering node. So to see how it works, I'll first take this BSS RDF socket and we'll connect it to the surface socket in the material output. Now we'll also need some light coming from the back of the monkey object in order to observe the subsurface scattering effect in a much better way. So I'll go to the solid mode, then change the angle, and to add the light, press Shift plus A, go to the light category, and I'll be selecting the spotlight. Now let's move it up in the Z axis and place it over here. Then we'll rotate it in the X axis by -90 degrees. Then move it back in the Y axis like this, and then let's bring it down in the Z axis. Now go to the camera view again by pressing 0 on the numpad, then go to object data properties to change the color and the power of this light. So in the color, I'll change this to the blue color, and in the power, I'll enter value of around 2000 watts. After this, go to the rendered preview mode in order to observe the subsurface scattering effect. Now if I zoom in, you will hardly notice any effect of the subsurface scattering on this monkey object, and that is because the scale value in the subsurface scattering is set at a very low number by default. But if I try to increase it from 0.5 somewhere around 2 or 3, then you will begin to notice this blue light passing through the object's surface. This effect is more visible on the ears of the monkey object and also in the region around its eyes. And the reason for this is that the thickness of the mesh in the region around the ear is very less as compared to the region for the remaining part of the monkey head. You can also see a similar effect on the bottom part, and the reason why you see a very strong effect on the regions around the eyes is the empty space present in between the eye sockets and the eyes of the monkey object. Then if you want, you can go to the color option in the subsurface scattering and change the color of the Suzanne object. By doing this, you can notice the way how the light of different colors will interact with different settings in the subsurface scattering node. And with this, we have now understood about both the Sheen BSDF node and the subsurface scattering node in Blender. And before moving forward, if you want to download this particular Blender file with all the materials saved that we have created in this chapter, then you can join the Patreon, whose link is added in the description of this video. And now it's the time to understand about some of the concepts that we covered today in the retro gaming arcade scene that we started creating in the chapter number 1 of this course. So I've opened this file with the arcade scene, and currently we are not having in the cloth object in our scene on which we can apply the Sheen BSDF node. However, we can understand about subsurface scattering node by making some changes in the material of this gaming machine. So for this, press 1 or 3 on the numpad for the front or the side view. Then with the machine selected, I'll be creating its duplicate by pressing Shift plus D, and we'll move it in the Y axis and place it over here. After this, go to the material properties and we'll be selecting this blue or the purple colored material that we have applied to the body of the machine. So I'll select this material from this list, and to make sure that whatever changes I make in the material for this particular object do not get applied to the material of the original machine, we first have to create a duplicate of this material. So click on this icon in the shader editor to create a duplicate, and after this, go to the shader editor, press Shift plus A, then go to shader, and we'll select subsurface scattering node. Now place it over here, and in the color, we'll be choosing the same color as we are having in the RGB node. And to get the exact same color, simply take your cursor over this purple color, then press Ctrl plus C to copy the color, and after that, take the cursor to this color option in the subsurface scattering node and press Ctrl plus V to paste this color here. Now take the BSS RDF socket in the subsurface scattering node and connect it to the material output. And by doing this, you will notice that this blue or the purple colored material of the second machine is now having a different look. In fact, let's zoom in properly to notice the difference between the two materials in a proper way. So you can clearly see that on the machine, which is on the left side, this purple or the blue colored material is not displaying any reflections of the red light on its surface. However, if you notice closely, on the second machine, we are having this slight effect of the red colored light on this purple material, and this is because of the subsurface scattering effect. In fact, if I go to the scale value and increase this from 0.05 to something like 1 or 2, then in that case, the effect of red light will be much more visible on this material, and the only reason why this is happening is that the subsurface scattering node is simply allowing the colored lights to pass through the surface of the particular object. So it depends upon the scene that whether you want the object to show the subsurface scattering effect or not, and then you have to take the decision of choosing one of these materials as the final one. If you want to have this effect of the lighting, then go for this material with the subsurface scattering. Otherwise, you can go with the original material without any subsurface scattering. And in this particular case, I'll be going with the original material only for the gaming machine. So for now, I'll delete this duplicate that we just created for understanding the subsurface scattering effect. And with this, we now arrive to the end of this chapter. Today we learnt about the Sheen BSDF node and also the subsurface scattering node, and then we also understood about the practical usage of the subsurface scattering node in this arcade scene. And yes, if you want to download this Blender file containing the complete retro gaming arcade scene, then you can join the Patreon, whose link is available in the description. And so our next chapter will be the chapter number 14, Object Info Node. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel, press that notification bell so that you can get timely updates about the upcoming chapters. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.